So the average American retires at around age 62 or 63, but how is it that some people are able to retire at age 50, age 40, and even in some cases in their upper 20s or early 30s? How is this possible? I'm going to share that with you in this video. There's really 3 simple steps that you can follow in order to shave 5, 10, 15 years off of your projected retirement date. So stay tuned in this video if you want to learn about that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We bring out new videos to help people make more money, save more money, and build a better financial future for themselves. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into this video. Now, contrary to popular belief, most people think that the first step to retiring early is to make more money, to get a pay raise, to increase your income so that you can retire at an earlier age. But to be honest, that's not the number one step. That's not the first step that you should be taking. And the reason for that is because there's something called lifestyle inflation. See, this is the exact reason why a lot of lottery winners go broke 5 years later. This is why a lot of professional athletes go broke after they end their career. And the reason for that is because they inflate their lifestyle as their income goes up. So the number one step, it's not making more money. It is a factor. It's obviously an important factor that goes into it. We're going to talk about that later on in this video. But the first step towards retiring at an earlier age is actually by cutting expenses and budgeting correctly. Now, I want you to hear me out on this. See, a lot of people, when they get their paycheck, they just spend, and then at the end of the month they say, ooh, I'm in the hole $100, I don't have any money to save. But what you should be doing is setting money aside for retirement or for savings before you actually spend it on any of your needs or wants or anything else that you might be doing. So take a chunk out. Now, the best way to do this, there's a strategy called the 50-30-20 rule. And I'm explaining this to you, and I think this could really help you out a lot. And you know what? If most Americans or most people just followed this simple rule, they would probably retire even earlier than the average American, which is about 62 or 63. Just by following this, you could probably shave off a few years because most people can't even do this. In the 50-30-20 rule, the way that this works is that 50% of your income is meant to go towards your needs. So we're talking about food, shelter, the clothing on your back so you're not running around town naked getting arrested. We're talking about those necessities that you might need, those medical bills that you might have to pay, but things that are keeping you alive and fully clothed and fed and warm. And, so that's the 50% of your income. And that's what this little 50-30-20 rule is for. So 50% goes towards that. 30% goes towards your wants. So we're talking about maybe you have some discretionary income. Maybe this is some money that can go towards your Netflix bill, or maybe you want some season tickets to the Yankees games, right? So this is your discretionary income that's going towards your wants, about 30%. And then we have 20% going towards your investments or your retirement accounts or your savings or something that's building equity, something that's, gaining in assets. So 50-30-20. Now, like I said, if you can just follow this, you'll probably be very well off. But what I would suggest doing, if you want to shave off even more years, we're talking possibly 5 years or more off of your projected retirement date, just by switching these 2 little numbers here, you can make a big difference. So instead of the 50-30-20 rule, maybe consider making it the 50-20-30 rule. So 20% going towards your wants, 20% going towards the things that you might want to do, and then 30% going towards your investments, going towards your retirement account. Just making that little switch can quite literally make a massive difference in your overall outcome and your ability to retire at an earlier age. So consider making those cuts, consider making those changes. You don't have to be a Scrooge about this. I certainly wouldn't sacrifice having fun or enjoying my life for retiring a few years earlier. If you're absolutely miserable because you're saving every penny and you don't go out to get some ice cream with some friends because you need to save that $3.82 because you want to retire earlier, I don't think that's worth it. Make sure you're having fun, make sure you're enjoying life. You don't want to be a Scrooge about it. You really don't, because there's no point in that. So that's the first step. You want to take that first step of cutting your expenses and budgeting correctly without being a Scrooge, without being a weirdo, but able to do that. And look, I think if you're not running a budget, this creates such a problem, because you think about a business, right? And imagine a business trying to run themselves without tracking their expenses, without running a budget, without having a balance sheet. So almost run yourself like a business, and you don't have to be weird about it, but just kind of understand where the money's coming in, where it's going out, and if you can track that, you're going to be so much better off for success. And take a chunk out, take that 20% or 30% out of your income, and just put it directly into your investments, put it directly into your retirement accounts before you actually have access to it to start spending it on all those other things that you might want in your life. So the step number 2, after we think about saving or budgeting, then we can start thinking about ways to make more money. See, this is step number 2, and that is by making more money. Now, there's a couple different strategies for this, but what I think is one of the best routes to go for this is by finding a way to monetize a hobby. See, a lot of people, if you're working a job that you already don't really like, I think the statistics about like 80 or 85% of people aren't very satisfied with their job. So if you're working a job that you're not very happy with, then maybe picking up a side job or a job after work or a job on the weekends might not always be the best option, because you don't want to just work 80 hours a week of something that you're not enjoying. There's really no point in that. But maybe find a way to monetize a hobby. So for example, if you really enjoy making beer, right? So say you like making homebrew, right? Maybe you can start a little microbrewery and start selling that and making money on the side, and then take that money and maybe put all of that money from your side job, your side hustle, your side business, and put it directly into your retirement. So instead of like the 50-30-20 rule, you could almost make it the 50-30-50 rule. So you're taking that extra 20% of your income that's coming in on top of your regular income and putting all of it directly into your retirement funds or your savings or your investments, so you can get to retirement so much faster just by doing that. So find a way to monetize something that you enjoy, so it doesn't really feel like work, maybe after work or on the weekends, but something that you truly do enjoy. If you're an artist and you like painting, you want to sell your paintings, that could be a great option for you, right? So those are the first 2 steps: budgeting and cutting those expenses, then making more money. And then the final one, which is arguably the most important on this list, and that is by investing the right way. So look, let me just give you an example here. Let's say we have 2 twin brothers. We have Kevin and Bob. We always use these 2 schmucks for examples, right? But Kevin and Bob, right? So Kevin, let's say that Kevin puts $500 per month. He's age 20, $500 per month for the next 40 years into his savings account. He doesn't trust the banks. He grew up in the Great Depression. He doesn't want to, put money into any investments or anything. So he just socks it all away under his mattress, or maybe he puts it in the bank. But he's not getting any interest on it, and he's not gaining anything off of it. So $500 a month for the next 40 years. And after that time period, he has about $240,000 in total when he's 60 years old. Now, could Kevin retire off of this? He probably could. It's going to be a little bit difficult. He's definitely going to be living pretty low below his means. He's not going to be able to spend a lot of money. $240,000 at age 60. It's possible, especially if he has Social Security coming in, that he could definitely pull it off. But it's still not going to be really easy with that amount of money to really get by easily. Now, let's take Bob, his twin brother, who said, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing. $500 a month. I'm going to put it into investments. Instead of putting it under my mattress, I'm going to put it into investments that are netting me maybe a 7% annual return. Now, maybe this is the stock market. Maybe this is real estate. Maybe this is some other type of an investment vehicle. But let's say that Bob can find a way to make 7% per year on his money. And you know what? If you want to be very conservative with this, knock it down to 6% or 5% or 4%, whatever you would like to calculate these numbers at. But let's say Bob's able to net 7%. Now, $500 per month, age 20 to age 60. At age 60, Bob has about $1.2 million in his retirement account, in his investment account. So he literally has almost 5 times more money, has about 4 times more money than Kevin does, simply by putting this into something that's making money off of his money. So hopefully you get the point here. We've mentioned this a few other times on this channel, but it's really important to think about ways to get your money to work for you. And you know what? Maybe you don't trust the stock market right now. Maybe you don't want to get into real estate. There's other options to at least keep up with inflation. You can get CDs. You can get high interest rate savings accounts. I have some links down below for some different accounts that get you over 2% interest on your money per year on something that's very, very safe. So whatever you're doing, you want to put it into something of an investment, something that's gaining you a little bit of a return on your investment versus just saving it in a bank account. It's not going to get you to retirement early. That's almost certain. It's hard to save your way towards retirement. So hopefully, this video helped you out a little bit, but let's just go over the 3 steps really quickly here and some of the different factors that can really play into these. So look, the first one, it's by budgeting, it's by saving money, it's by cutting expenses and running yourself like a business. That's the first step that everybody should be taking, regardless of whether or not you want to retire early. But I do think that most people want to retire early, so everybody should be doing that. Very simple. I have a free budget template down in the description below. I'm not selling any BS courses. This is totally free. Everything's free on this channel. And then number 2, it is by making more money. Find something that you enjoy. Please just find something that you enjoy doing to make some extra money. I just don't want to see people doing something that they're not enjoying. And then the third one is to invest your money. So Kevin and Bob, prime example there. Just find something that's netting you a return on your money, whatever it is, 2%, 3%, 4%, 8%, whatever it is, the higher the better, obviously, but just do what you can to net some return on your investment. So those are 3 steps. Follow those 3 steps, and you're going to be so much better off than 98% of the rest of the population who doesn't pay attention to this, who just maybe pays a financial advisor to do this for them, or doesn't even think about investing at all. A lot of people don't invest money. A lot of people don't think about retirement, and it's sad to see. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and consider sharing this video with somebody who might want to consider retiring at an earlier age. We make these videos for totally free. We don't sell anything here. I just enjoy making these videos, and hopefully can help some people out there, because I don't know why schools don't teach this. So thanks for watching, and I'll see everybody next time.